Why don't we go next to Heckler from New York City? Heckler from New York City, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today? Heckler, you probably have the wrong audio device selected.
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on. I had a question for you. I know I'm by no means a Trump supporter, and I know that you call out a lot of Trump's gaffes at his public speaking events and whatnot. Um, my question for you is, do you think that if Biden spoke publicly as much as Trump, he would have a similar amount of gaffes, or what is your take there?
Well, first of all, the idea that Biden doesn't speak publicly, I sort of take issue with. Just this week, multiple speeches, then people will say, well, but he uses a teleprompter. Well, so does Trump. So I think I maybe am not totally on board with the premise of your question, but I really on this defer to the experts and the medical experts we've interviewed. And we actually have another forthcoming interview on this. Gaffes are not all the same thing. Biden stuttering or struggling with the speech on the teleprompter, or sometimes just kind of trailing off when he makes a joke that doesn't land. It's different than when Trump will repeat that Nikki Haley was in charge of security on January 6, 2021 in Washington, D.C., or when Trump repeats that Viktor Orban is the leader of Turkey. And you can tell that it's not a verbal mistake. It's what he believes. And he's basing subsequent statements on these false beliefs. What the medical experts have told us when we've interviewed them is that these are two different things and they mean very different things cognitively. So I just kind of defer to them on that.
Awesome. I appreciate your perspective. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Heckler from New York City. Great to hear from you. Great to see you. Why don't we go next to Ivan from Seattle? And Ivan is also a member at joinpacman.com. I very much appreciate that, Ivan. Welcome to the program.
You're welcome. I just wanted to congratulate you on your several awards you've received on your bonus show.
Thank you. Yes. It's sort of like the Trump trophies, where Trump buys a golf club, names the trophies after himself, and then awards himself the trophies. We have created many awards. It's the most hated bonus show by Alex Jones. That's an award we give out. It's, I would argue, the best bonus show. We also won that award. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Ivan.
I wonder if Biden is going to tweet about it as well.
It's possible. It's possible.
Okay, so first of all, I'm no longer an Eagle Pass, as you might have imagined. I was there, though, long enough to hear Trump saying that we have languages coming to our country that nobody speaks those languages.
Right. Languages no one's ever heard of and nobody speaks.
Yes, which I think it's awesome to have more, a more diverse population in the U.S. But I guess xenophobes take that as an offense against them. But well. So my question is, Republicans, they always, or we always think, or they always thought of themselves that they are the party of law and order, the party of personal responsibility, fiscal responsibility, and we've seen many examples of how that is not the case, at least not with the current party. Even Trump was saying that he wants to bring back crime to law and order. I don't know what that means, but personal responsibility, they're always the victims. Fiscal responsibility, they raise the deficit. Protecting kids. Well,
hey, Ivan, I hate to interrupt, and I say this with total peace and love. It sounds like there's a radio on in the background, and I'm wondering if you had a question today.
Yes. So what can you still say? Can you still say that the Republicans is the party of just the current Republican Party? What do you think? They're not for law and order. They're not for fiscal responsibility. What do you think? They're still. What can you give them?
I can't give them
right
any of
now.
these things. I mean, listen, they say that they are against business regulation until all of a sudden they want to force businesses to publish their anti-vax and COVID propaganda.
Exactly.
Suddenly, they're very much for business regulation. They say that they are for balancing the budget. And yet George W. Bush and Donald Trump have been two of the presidents, both Republicans, that have blown up the deficit more than anybody else. They say that they are for law and order, except when it comes to the Capitol police officers in January 6th riots, or to the FBI, or to, right? So I don't know what they stand for anymore, other than opposing Democrats and offering nothing other than contrived social issues to their followers. That's, I think, what they stand for at this point.
Well, I was trying to throw in a lifeline, but if they don't stand for anything, that it's going to be hard. But oh well, that's all I had for today, David.
All right, Ivan from Seattle, great to hear from you. Very much appreciate it. Why don't we go next to Fahim from Florida? Fahim from Florida, welcome to the show. What's on your mind today? What's going on? Fahim from Florida, please welcome to the program. Accept my invitation if you'd like to participate. And last chance for Fahim from Florida, who is self-muted now. Fahim, you've got to unmute yourself.
Hey, David, long-time listener of the show. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, so I had one question for you today. So with the rise of populism, like what's Bernie Sanders and then like Donald Trump, and also like now you have the third party candidate, what's his name?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
Yes, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So what do you think the future of US politics looks like with the rise of populism? And if Donald Trump, if he gets defeated after that, where do you think it goes?
Listen, it's so difficult to make these broad-ranging predictions, but I hope that I'm not naive in thinking that if Trump loses in November, it's not the end of Trumpism, but it's the end of a bunch of it. It's a big destruction of part of Trumpism. And that with Joe Biden getting an additional 4 years, and then we would have 8 years of a decidedly more in the direction of social democracy, although not as much as I would like, decidedly not primarily populist democratic rule. I think that both the sort of populist rhetoric that's become popular and MAGA Trumpism will have suffered significant setbacks. Now, where that gets us and puts us in 2028, I don't pretend to know, but I do think that a Biden victory and a Trump loss in 2024 will hamper the pseudo-populist rhetoric that's been used to quite honestly, to deceive a lot of people, and also will really, really injure MAGA Trumpism, where hopefully it won't be dead, but it'll hopefully be in its last breaths.
I'm surprised you answered that way because, like with Vivek Ramaswamy, I feel like with figures like him and like Elon Musk also like putting he's like just. He's also like putting kerosene in the fire, if that's a phrase I can put it as. But like with figures like those, I think like it might be on the rise like from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Elon Musk has a bunch of right-wing ideas, but fundamentally he'll attach himself to any movement that strikes him as interesting. And it doesn't have to be MAGA, and it doesn't have to be a populist movement. So I don't know that I agree with that. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all just guessing, and we're going to have to wait and see. And the first part of it is let's get through the November election. That's my suggestion.
David, thank you for having us today.
All right. Fahim from Florida, let's take a very quick break. We're going to go right back to Discord for more calls in a moment. So stay with me. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. think like a detective and think like a scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.